Howdy, y'all. This is Jason Legato with the Confessing Baptist podcast. Welcome to this episode of the Dunker Bunker. Jason went to Minnesota, and we forgot how to podcast edition for March 25th, 2015. As I said, my name is Jason Legato, and joining me today is
Junior Duran from Fort Worth, Texas. How you doing, y'all?
Yeehaw, man! I miss you some Texas. I'm getting homesick here.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're not here to talk about me. Let's get into the headlines. Starting off, we have a couple of events that we announced within the last 2 weeks. I should say that we didn't make it last week. Things have been crazy. I moved recently, blah blah blah. And we're also doing this early because I got some crazy stuff going on the next couple of days. So we got 2 weeks to kind of catch up on, but not too much stuff this week. So it's not going to be like a 10-hour episode or something. But anyways, as far as the news goes, a new event happening April 17th through the 19th, 2015 at Emmanuel Baptist Church. It's their 27th annual Ladies Conference featuring Robert Gonzalez, and that is the Emmanuel Baptist in Coconut Creek, Florida. The topic's going to be Sins of the Matriarchs and the Grace of God, which should be very interesting because I know Dr. Gonzalez has done a lot of studies in the Old Testament and whatnot.
Yes.
Registration deadline is April 13th, 2015, and registration is free, but the only reason they ask you to do it is so they can make arrangements for food and all that stuff. So contact them if you need lodging and things like that. So I know my fellow elder's wife and his daughter has been to these to their ladies conference before, and they just love it. They just love the people there. Always come back very edified and very encouraged. So you can check that out.
So, Jason, what do you think the sins of the matriarchs are, off the top of your head?
Lying.
Well, for example, can you name the examples? Like in my head, I'm trying to think of. I thought of two.
Sarah lying, maybe, but although she's commended later for her faith and.
Well, lying to who about what?
Whoever the Pharaoh was at the time about.
See, but Abraham told her to.
Yes.
Obedient for that.
Yes.
I was thinking of.
It is very interesting.
Rebecca who stole the idols from her father's house because she was sitting on.
Oh yes, that's definitely one.
And then I thought of Jacob's mom. Was that Rebecca also? who remember they faked their father out, and those are two like.
Oh yes, yeah. Telling him to act like his brother Esau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so those are two. The other ones I think. I'm not sure what the other ones would be, but so I'd like to hear at the conference. Maybe those messages will be available.
Yeah, they usually do. I remember we did make a last year's available once it was posted. I believe it was not Dave Chansky, but the other Chansky brother, Mark Chansky, yeah, who talked about godly womanhood and things like that. So, but anyways.
All right, next conference coming up June 19th through the 21st. It's a 3-day conference, Baptist Heritage Conference featuring Dr. Tom Ascol and Dr. Tom Nettles in Valdosta, Georgia. Valdosta? If y'all live there, let me know how to pronounce that. So you can register beginning April 15th at covenantbapt.org. Covenantbapt.org. Again, so Dr. Nettles and Dr. Ascol. Friday, Dr. Nettles on lessons about Christian life from Baptist history, and also on Friday, Dr. Ascol, forward toward our heritage. And then on Saturday, June 20th, Dr. Ascol, early Southern Baptist evangelism, and then Dr. Nettles, the purifying power of controversy in Baptist life.
Purifying.
Nice title there. Dr. Ascol, again, with why theology matters in to worship. Dr. Nettles, the importance of singular vision in the ministry of James Pettigrew Boyce. Very important Southern Baptist, y'all. Sunday, June 21st, finally, Dr. Nettles, Spurgeon, Christ's work in the covenant. Ooh, this will be nice. Covenant of redemption. I want to hear that one. Dr. Ascol, getting the gospel right. So, again, so there's tickets. Cost is $25 per person, and plus any fees and taxes. A lot of stuff. You check it out. We have the link. On the original post and on the Dunker Bunker headlines again. Covenant Baptist Church in Valdosta, Georgia.
Yep. So that's all the events we got for now. And don't forget, we post all these events in a kind of chronological timeline. If you go to confessingbaptist.com/upcoming, or there's a little banner on our front page, the kind of scrolling banner, has all the events. You can check that out as
Well, there's two
well.
events I want the audio for, Jason.
What's that?
There's two events I want the audio for now.
I know, right? Yeah. Those both sound interesting. Yeah. I hope they do make that one available to audio as well. But anyways, moving on to books. A new book that we had known about, but it's finally out. It's titled Baptist and War. Wait, hold on, Junior. I think I need to mute while I talk because it's echoing now. I'll cut that. Weird, it keeps doing that. New book that we had notified before, kind of in an upcoming, but it is out now. It's titled Baptist and War, Essays on Baptist and Military Conflict, 1640s through 1990s. And this is edited by Gordon L. Heath and Michael A.G. Haken. This kind of announcement comes from the Andrew Fuller Center for Baptist Studies. They said, just released from Pinwick Publications, an imprint of Wiffenstock Publishers, a collection of essays on Baptist and war. These papers, which were originally delivered at the 2011 annual conference of the Andrew Fuller Center for Baptist Studies, were compiled and edited by Gordon L. Heath and Michael A.G. Haken, as I said. So if you have not heard that audio, we did post that audio on Monday. I kind of highlighted that since the book came out, so you can kind of get it all together. But if you want that in book form, and I'm sure you'll get all the footnotes, and usually when they put that in book, that's a little more refined and sometimes expanded even. You can check that out, Baptist and War, Essays on Military Conflict, 400 Years. And this is Volume 2 in the Canadian Baptist Historical Society series, which means there's probably going to be more out about this. So that sounds very interesting. It's a paperback, 246 pages, and like we said, it just came out last week or so. So you can check that out. In case you guys don't know, Gordon Heath, he's not a name we usually talk about here, but he's the Associate Professor of Christian History at McMaster Divinity College in Hamilton, Ontario, and the Centenarian Chair in World Christianity. And then Michael A.G. Haken is, as I think you all probably know, Professor of Church History at the Southern Baptist Seminary, Louisville, Kentucky. So Louisville. But yeah, anyways, I did make the audio available. That's 18 MP3s when I posted that, so we'll link to that post here as well, so you can check that out.
And on a related note, just a reminder that Anabaptists had different views of war than Baptists do, and so good conference lectures, good book. Also out now from RBAP is the Journal of the Institute of Reformed Baptist Studies, 2015, the annual journal. It's for $12 at RBAP. Again, we've talked about this before, but it's a good deal. You have to get it. I've got mine already, so I'm excited to read about was it Baptist in the Woods or Dolphins in the Woods?
Dolphin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also listen to interview Dr. Renahan.
Yep, interview number 82, which was the last one we put out, or the last two we put out now, because we put out one this week. Also, quick book deal. This has been a book deal before. We've let you know about it, but let's just let you know it is still available right now. It's $1.99. It's The Baptist Heritage, 4 Centuries of Baptist Witness. It's an 860-page book. So this is the Kindle edition, of course, but this has been used as textbooks and whatnot. So we've already filled y'all in about that. I just want to give you a quick FYI. That is still a deal at $1.99. And this next one is a deal, too, through March 31st. You want to tell them about this one, Junior?
Yes, this is our buddy Andrew Fuller. He has a center named after him at the Southern Seminary. I'm sorry. So again, it's a Kindle deal, 99 cents or 99 pence. Andrew Fuller, Baptist Thought and Life by Paul Brewster on the Kindle. And we've talked about this book before. It's just about it's a biography of Andrew Fuller, second in Environmental Homeless Publishing Group Studies in Baptist Life and Thought series. So again, he's the elephant of Kettering, and there's a reason. The Southern has a study center named after him. So I want to check that book out. Again, it's 99 cents to 99 pence. That's a good deal. Can't pass that up.
Yep. I've been discovering lately that there are a lot of Baptists, like Calvinistic Baptists, that really don't like Andrew Fuller, or maybe I should say more, because they bring up his views on duty, faith, and things like that, and I guess stuff that we would agree with, holding to the 1689 and how it talks about faith. And but it's just interesting. There's a lot of people. I follow some of them on Twitter, and they rail constantly against Andrew Fuller and Spurgeon too for some of their views on, just in calling people to faith and repentance, which I think is what we're supposed to do. But anyways, just interesting. It's come up so much lately. I don't know why. Anyways, let's go on to audios and videos. Enough about the drama. Our first audio and video we posted, this is actually just a two-part audio. Vodi Bakum and his wife, they talk about courtship and premarital mentoring, and of course with their child Jasmine Holmes, who married Philip Holmes. This came out on the Family Life Today broadcast. This is the first time we've ever posted anything by them. I was unaware of them. The only person they've ever posted stuff that would be kind of relevant to what we post would be stuff from Vodi Bakum. But anyways, it's a two-part audio that they recorded from a morning devotional that took place on their Love Like You Mean It marriage cruise that happened just this past Valentine's Day. The aired episodes were titled Parental Responsibilities for Courtship and What He Must Be. And in the first one, they talk about courtship and why it sounds archaic and if that's a fair assessment and the reasons that they do it and what it means and what it really looks like. And it's cool too because it's Vodi Bakum and his wife, and they're kind of you can tell they're kind of sitting down, everyone's having breakfast. It's a very laid back, casual talk, especially for Vodi Bakum. And then Jasmine, his Vodi Bakum's daughter, and her now husband Philip Holmes get up there, and they share their side of the experience as well. Because one of the questions is, well, how does your daughter feel about this? You know, this might sound great for dads and whatnot, but how do the kids feel about this? So you can check that out. I also posted all the other audio and video that they talked about. So really interesting stuff. Very short there. I think they're 28 minutes was the first one, and 26 minutes was the second one. And in between there's a lot of filler of the host kind of talking about setting it up and explaining everything I just explained to you, basically. So, if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Good stuff for parents and kids, I guess. So.
All right, and here's a video that I have been trying to listen to, but it's kind of long and I keep getting interrupted. This is John Owen, Baptism and the Baptist by Crawford Gribben. So this past Friday, March 20th, Dr. Crawford Gribben, professor of early modern British history at Queen's University Belfast in Ireland, was a guest lecturer at the Strict Baptist Historical Society annual lecture. Again, took place in Kensington Place in London. The lecture again was John Owen, Baptism and the Baptist. And again, I keep trying to listen to this, but I get interrupted. So it starts out with him referencing Dr. Renehan. Dr. Gribben is a John Owen expert and well read in the great man's works, and his careful, erudite paper was something of an encouragement to Baptists, given how highly respected the Congregationalist theologian is. The basic idea, and by the way, this is by Pastor Gary Brady, just a little blurb here. The basic idea was that Owen generally avoided the Baptist in question, and especially so as he matured and actually met Baptists such as Henry Jesse of the Jesse Lathrop JLJ Church. He appears to have moved from an advocacy of baptismal regeneration to a more middle-of-the-road infant Baptist position. A posthumous work that appears to look at the subject is probably spurious, citing Dr. Gribben was unable to cast any light on the relationship between Owen and Bunyan. And again, so it's a 46-minute video with a PowerPoint. Whoever did this did a really good job because as he lectures, you'll see the PowerPoint saddle up next to him. So I thought it was really good. And I'm trying to listen to this, but it looks like a good video. Jesse, any opinion on this?
No, yeah, it was a really good video. I was very surprised seeing the title and seeing one of the where it took place. I thought it was interesting indeed. The Strict Baptist Historical Society talking about John Owen. It was excellent, par none. Very good stuff. Brandon Adams actually turned the video into audio as well, so I did update the post. You can download it on MP3 or stream it from our page as well, or 69 Federalism. It's there as well. But really good stuff. Some surprising stuff I think that some people might find in it. The main thing I took away, which was really interesting, was that after seemingly after John Owen had met Henry Jesse, who was a very influential particular Baptist. He was a big part of the 1644, 1646 confessions, Baptist confessions, that is. That after he had worked together, Henry Jesse and Owen worked together, that you don't see Owen ever saying anything against the Baptist, which was very, I don't want to say popular, but it would have been a normal thing for a Paedo-Baptist to, down talk or disparage Baptists. They were just, we're easy to pick at. But Owen purposely never did anything like that, and his views tend to get more and more like Reformed Baptist views, and it's very interesting stuff. And it's when he brings out some stuff about his consistency and whatnot, but you just have to watch the video. It's actually kind of funny the way he talks about it. So yeah, good stuff. Definitely recommend you check it out. Another funny thing is I kind of hinted at Richard Barcellos because he commented on it saying, "Oh yeah, I read that. It was really good." And I guess he had sent this to Richard Barcellos to check out his lecture and whatnot. And I kind of briefly, in passing, mentioned like, "Man, this would be really good stuff for like a journal article, like hint, hint, wink, wink." And he said he tried to get him to do that, and he responded that he was booked for the next 5 years in writing, so maybe 2021 we'll see something from him in Reformed Baptist Journal. So we'll see, but I think they're kind of joking. Kind of. Anyways, moving on, we did put out a podcast this week, an interview podcast, that is, interview number 83. We've had 83 interviews. This was with Douglas Van Dorn. It's actually been requested for several years that we have Doug Van Dorn on. We finally did get him on, thanks to Brandon Adams, who kind of set up this interview and took the reins on this, and all I really did was put the music in the front and the back, edit it slightly, and put it out. So thanks, Brandon Adams, for heading up this interview and helping me out with that. Anyways, the topic was Covenant Theology, a Reformed Baptist primer. This was the audio podcast we put out, number 83, as I said. Some of the topics that were covered, his testimony, of course, since it was the first time we had him on. We talked about, or they talked about, two types of covenants found in the Bible. Is the covenant of redemption even in the Bible? How do you respond to objections to the covenant of works? Overview of gracious/legal covenants. What on earth, and this is the way Brandon Adams worded his question, what on earth is a Levitical covenant? That's interesting. He brings up that that's a covenant that's not really talked about, and how some even mention that it's kind of the missing covenant that's generally not talked about in covenant theology. Very interesting stuff, and I'm actually in that section while I'm reading through his book slowly. Very interesting stuff. Anyways, and how is the new covenant new but not brand new? Plus a lot more. We linked to everything they talked about, so you can check that out as well. Junior, did you have a chance to listen to this? If so, what did you think? Or did
again with this, work has been just crazy. And but I started listening to it, and I didn't get very far with him either, but it's on my to-do list.
That to-do list builds up, dude. You gotta watch it. But anyways, on to the opinions, which we don't have a sounder for. Go for it, dude.
Okay. So, so this is a series we've been talking about, I think, on the Baptist Bot. Let's just the newest Decablogger, Pastor Matt Foreman. He finished up his blog series, Singing as a Means of Grace. I always found it interesting, that title of the series, because I know that's one of the early particular Baptists. There's debate, I guess, among them whether to sing or not sing, which had to do a lot with persecution at the time, and singing would attract the authorities and all that.
The great hymn sing controversy. Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know if it was hymn singing or just singing I think it was just singing in general, like to sing or not to sing. So when the Reformed Christians talk about the means of grace, they usually are referring to the corporate practices of the church, like prayer, Bible reading, preaching, Lord's Supper, and baptism. That God is revealed as the means and practices that led to spiritual growth. They are the channels that God promises to use through the Spirit to build up and nourish God's people. I want to argue that Christians need to recognize the place of spiritual singing as an important and biblical means of grace. The next week post, Pastor Matt Foreman explores why and how the use of singing is the means of grace. So he has the series is an introduction. Why do we sing? Singing as a ministry of the word, singing corporately, singing different types of songs, and sing with grace in our hearts. And to be honest, Jason, when I first became a Christian, I think I was embarrassed about singing. Then, if you are born again, that means the Holy Spirit is in you, and the Holy Spirit is going to want to sing, to God. So I think that's like you don't have I don't say you don't have a choice, but like I would not. I don't understand not singing.
That's right. The people who sing bad, I just tell them we'll just file that under the joyful noise category. So don't worry about it, brother. So that's all I'll say to you. So moving on, another great stuff. We talk about this Deca blog post as it was coming out, the regulative, vertical, and internal principle of worship of God. And this was a 5-part blog series by Nicholas Alford, who we've talked about before, and he is a pastor now at Grace Baptist Church of Taylor, South Carolina, so we kind of made that announcement as well. He explains not only the regulative principle of worship, which we have a lot of posts on already, but he also talks about the vertical principle and the internal principle of worship, which is very interesting and something that I think we all know, but we don't consider, or maybe it's not as explicit as he made it, which was so I was very grateful for this post. Let me read you a little blurb from it. He wrote, "If the church at worship is the epicenter of our spiritual lives, then it follows that our God would take a unique interest in what goes on there. He does, in fact. He has given us non-negotiable biblical principles to guide us as we think through what we do in worship and why we do it. And so the three principles he talks about, to kind of sum them up, here's how he defines them. The vertical principle of worship has explained to us who we will be playing for. It is a concert for a king, and so while there are many others who can and should benefit from it, it is for the king. His desires and requirements must always rule. That's the vertical principle there. The regulative principle has shown us how to build our instruments. It has shown us how to identify the parts, to identify what it is and what is in and what is out. Using it, we can build an instrument that meets the king's design. He's kind of using this illustration of the church coming together as a great symphony, a concert, if you will, to kind of explain these three principles together. That's what he means by it. This tells us what is in and what is out. He doesn't mean the actual instruments that we build or whatnot. And the internal principle of worship has shown us that from within us must flow the breath that will take that beautiful instrument and make it perform the function that it was designed for. The king doesn't just want us to show him the instruments, he wants them played. So a very interesting. Worship is a vertical act with horizontal impact. We must worship God in all the ways and only the ways that he has commanded in his word. And the external act of worship must be an expression of true internal realities. And when all these principles come together, then you have a symphony of beautiful music worthy to be offered to the king. So great illustration, I thought of, and I love how he put all those vertical, regulative, and internal principles together, talking about worship. So, and on a related note, he has other posts talks about 3 thieves that steal your worship. Really good stuff. And then this one from a long time ago that he kind of grouped with this because it's relevant. It's Calvin and Hobbes on the regulative principle, and it really is Calvin and Hobbes on the regulative principle. You think it's not? I thought he was talking about like John Calvin and Hobbes, but it is actually Calvin and Hobbes comic. So check it out.
All right, coming up is more posts about the 69 Beard Balm. Again, this is from Joe Thorne, and he talks about the new product. So there's some background about the 1689 Beard Balm. If you guys have beards, it's a good product. I think we've done some giveaways, and they have good scents. I know Jason uses it. Has used it. So 69 Beard was started by pastor church planter Scott Anderson. Scott was led by God to plant Remembrance Church in 2010 in Madison, Georgia. Others encouraged him to target a large city. Scott wanted to bring a reformed, Christ-centered, gospel-saturated church that invested life on life into a community that was malnourished and on missional living and biblical theology, particularly in a rural area. Planning in such a context often required a planner to approach ministry bivocationally, which I know a lot of us out there are, a lot of you guys out there are. In Scott's case, by teaching math and science to 5th graders. That's got to be fun. So in 2014, Scott used his science and math experience to start infusing oils to make beard balm for his own use. Other bearded men began requesting his product and encouraged him to start selling on Etsy. And as the business began to take off, Scott partnered with seasoned businessman and deacon from Remembrance Church, Chris Harris. And in February, Chris, the CFO, and Scott, the CEO of 6989 Beard. On Wednesday nights, you can find them, Scott in his garage making beard balm while his son plays nearby. His wife, Gerd, final approval each scent. Is that a right word, Gerd?
That's the word Joe Thorne wrote, so I guess
okay.
so.
Yeah. And his daughter places labels on each can. Aw, that is a sweet
family affair, dude.
Yep. So I can finish reading that. Again, we link to Joe's. And then we have nice pictures of the beard balm, beard oils, and you talked about. Did you tweet something about the scents? Rum Bay, which is I like the Bay rum scent. Peppermint scent, I like that one.
Yeah, dark roast is a coffee scent. It's really funny because if you click on it and look in the description, it says the best part of waking up is $6.89 on your face. That's so good. Yeah, they got T-shirts, real nice T-shirts and whatnot. So
lots of good stuff. That's it's good. It's a good product. Good people. Go and check that link out and support them. Don't forget to leave comments. I think we all live by comments on the internet webs there.
Yeah, cool stuff. So last post we had posted was a really good one by Tom Ascol, and if you've followed Tom Ascol's ministry for any point of time, you'll see him post something like this every now and then. It's really good to have it up in the front and before our eyes. The post is called "To Assume the Gospel is to Lose It," and here's what Tom Ascol writes. For well over a decade, I have expressed concerns that many conservative, Bible-believing churches have in important ways lost the gospel. This concern has been met with varying degrees of incredulity by certain sectors of the evangelical world, most notably some of the very ones that provoked my evaluation. Though things have improved from 15 years ago to today, there is still ample evidence that my concern remains well-founded. For the sake of clarity, let me reiterate the essence of my concern. The gospel is all about Jesus Christ, who he is, what he has done, and why that matters. As Jesus himself said, the scriptures bear witness to him, and that the prophets and Moses wrote about him. The whole Bible, not just the New Testament, is a Christian book, and unless every part of it is read as revealing Jesus Christ, then it has been misread. Too often, Scripture is treated more along the lines of an inspired version of Aesop's fables than the revelation of the gospel of Jesus Christ. When this happens, the Bible becomes little more than a source for tips on success and happiness. Rather than recognizing it as the revelation of Christ, it is treated as the basis of moralistic principles. When that happens, the gospel is lost. So that's just the intro to his post, and he goes on to give an example and shows how, yeah, it's still needed. This reminder is still needed and still important for us and whatnot. So with that brings us to the Baptibots. And I'll start us off with the podcast that came out. And in the last 2 weeks, the only things that have come out, we had one podcast, and the Dividing Line, James White. March 17th is the last one we left off on. He continued his we're talking about the cultural collapse, totalitarianism, and a discussion of the cost of human autonomy. And that some of that is prep for his debate with Leighton Flowers, I believe is his name, coming up in Dallas in a couple months. March 19, 2015, the PCUSA abandons the faith. Mormons lack leadership. Mark Sandlin deceives, and good calls. And he had a couple calls on, if I remember what they were like theonomy, I think something on Revelation and the gifts or something like that. Now, March 24, 2015, the guardrails of the creeds. And this is, as we mentioned to y'all before, this month, James White is in Florida, and he's all over the place. He already had his debate, his baptism debate. He's already had some discussions on Islam, and he has some more tonight and more going on later. He's busy all month in Florida. So John Sampson is taking over the Dividing Line, and as always, he's doing a great job. I heard his first one already. He's talking about the guardrail of the creed. So some kind of creedal theology 101, why we have creeds, why we need them, why they're good and whatnot. So check that out. He'll probably, usually when he gets on the Dividing Line, he does a series, so I expect he's going to talk more about him, but we'll see what he does. So with that, Junior, you want to tell us some of the blogs that the Baptibots rounded up for us?
Yes, sir. So this again is the Baptibot roundup, and as Jason said, as we said at the beginning of the podcast night, this is a 2-week roundup, and I try to do 3 or 4 max on the Baptibot. So tonight, maybe 8 or 9, and then this last couple of weeks, I'm trying to focus on the little people. We all know who James White and AOMN.org is, but what about other people? So here we go. Jason Brown at Cornerstone Christian Fellowship. What is your view of the law of God? This is a question that someone asked of the church, so we link to that.
Oh, Jason Brown. Is that the? Wait, I'm clicking it. Is this the one in Houston? Internet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jason Brown. I had dinner with this guy. He sat across from me at the last General Assembly Texas Area Association. Yeah, we happened to sit across from each other. First time I met him. Yeah. He's a really good brother. Oh, that's cool. I don't know he wrote this. Anyways, continue. I just excited.
Well,
I was like,
I'm glad I posted it.
Yeah, cool.
All right, and then
the Baptibots posted it. I'm not the Baptibot. Don't associate me with them.
I'm glad we posted it.
Yeah. Yes. Anyways.
So Manfred at Defending Contending, right? DEF CON, The Glory of a True Church, and it's a book by Benjamin Keach, so he's going to highlight that. Okay, here's the name. Joachim Reich, Joachim, Joachim.
Yeah, beats me.
Okay, a Reformed Baptist, his blog is a Reformed Baptist in Nambia, and he writes, how can we discern a false prophet? So that's good reading for anywhere in the world. Beth Sahoth at 11, she has a series on refuting a case for infant baptism. And Jason, if you remember, we highlighted this a while back. So Paul Flynn at Megiddo Radio, which is a YouTube channel, talks about I guess was it 6989 federalism?
Yeah, and why he's
Brandon
now.
Adams responded to it, and now
Yep.
Beth at 11 is in response to it as well. So she's got a series on that one. Pastor Kurt at Orlando Grace Church. Help for the feeling okay, let me do this again. Help for the feeling ineffective blues. So when you feel ineffective, here's some help. This is Pastor Kurt again at Orlando Grace Church. Mark Nedadov at All Things Astounded. John Gill's New Confession. And again, Mark's posts are nice and short, so they're good, and I always recommend those. Okay, Morungi Igueta, and if pastor, if I'm saying your name wrong, give us a caller and let me know. As a Reformed pastor, the God of the Living. I always love his posts, so that's a good site. The Reformed Pastor, I want you to check that out, and here's the link to it. Yes, good. Here we go. Brandon Adams at Contrast. Chris Villey's analysis of 1689 federalism. So Chris Villey is a teacher. He has a seminary background, but he's a teacher, I think, of an RPCNA church, I think, if I remember right. I might be wrong. But anyway, he has responded to 1689 federalism, and I think it's the first honest critique that's come out. I've heard from was it the luncheon, that dinner we had the other day, right, with Pascal, that there's another critique out there, but
Oh, it's like mostly strawman, and it's not really accurate. And
yeah, I was gonna say wacko, but I didn't know how to say it nicely.
say it nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite the most accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, representation. So Brandon says this is our first, critique, and so that was so he responds to that. Ryan McCubbin. Oh yeah, so this was a post I saw. I can't remember, on Twitter a while back, and I really liked it. This is Ryan McCubbin at the Tailgate Theologian with the Sabbath and the 1689. The reason I like this is because his church is going to the 1689, and the Sabbath issue comes up. So it's a good read. I really want you to check that out. Check the links. And then I have a note here. I don't have a link from Chantry Notes. There's an ongoing series on the Sabbath and the conscience. I don't know if I did that or Jason, you did that.
I added that in because it was
okay.
ongoing this week. So since I did the last update.
So that's the last of the back to bots.
Yeah, and we'll probably round up Tom Chantry's as it's completed. It's funny. I think he said something like he was writing a post on the Sabbath and the conscience, and then it turned into 5 posts. So, that's Reformed Baptist for you, always going over. Anyways, yeah, lots of great stuff. As Junior said, you can follow the BaptistBot, the RSS, or the Twitter feed and whatnot. So let us know if there's any BaptistBot sites that we have missed. Some have been added because people have tweeted at us like, "Oh, check out this link. This guy's talking about this." Like that's how we found out about the Ryan McCubbin guy. I think you said that to me, Junior. Other pastors have let us know. And I know you pastors are very humble and you don't want to show forth yourself, but we just, we kind of want to round up all the Reformed Baptist guys just to see what's out there. So feel free to just shoot us a line. We don't tell anyone like, "Oh, he's Ronick himself and he's a big jerk." No, we won't say that. Just we want to know, so we're asking, we're requesting. So, give us a shout out. Let us know. As far as some Twitter highlights, not many actually within the last couple of weeks, or at least not ones that we already talked about. Monergism Books is giving away. They're always putting out ebooks and Mobi format books for free. Here's one on Calvinism by C.H. Spurgeon. You can get that EPUB or Mobi. Joe Thorne says he's serious about theology and beard care. Go get some 69 beard product now. And it's this epic picture of him with his 69 beard shirt, his 69 tattooed on his hand, and his just monstrous beard that just, tough. Ken Pulse, there's still time to register for and audit free the spring course on evangelism at the Founders Study Center. So there's a link there that you can, we told you in the past about some of the Founders Study Center. You can check that out. 69 Beard. Oh yeah, the reason I brought up that Joe Thorne one is because what he was doing, there is a giveaway 69 Beard is currently doing, or actually they said they do it every month, and here's how it goes. It's the 69 Beard monthly customer appreciation giveaway. 3 easy steps. 1, make a purchase. 2, post a picture of you and the product. 3, hashtag 1689beard. Winners announced at the end of each month. And hashtag, that just means put this on social media and hashtag it. That's the # 1689beard. So that's a good way you might win some more stuff. Give them some advertising. You're helping out a local pastor of a rural church there. IRBS, the Institute of Reformed Baptist Studies, mentioned that you can now take the New Testament Biblical Theology course from the Nehemiah Cox Lecture Services. So that is online now. That's the Pathright system. Nehemiah Cox Lecture Service there. That's really good stuff. My pastor took that in person, and he he was calling me every day, just like drooling over this stuff. It was excellent stuff from what I heard. I have not heard it myself, but my pastor was just devouring it. He loved it. Richard Barcelo's Southern California Reformed Baptist Pastors Conference Papers, Volume 1, and the only volume they'll probably be in print, the 2012 edition, is only $4 right now. So if you haven't got JERBS yet, the Journal for the Institute for Reformed Baptist Studies, get that for $12, which is way cheaper. I think Amazon is like 18 or 20 bucks, and you can pick this up for $4. So for 20 bucks, you can get 2 good books right there. CBN Rick mentioned 5 days left in his giveaway. He's giving away 5 copies of The Glory of a True Church. That's that new Free Grace Press book, or rather the reprint of a Benjamin Keach book that recently came out. So all you have to do is, we're posting the tweet on this post, all you got to do is fave or share it. Now, winners will be announced on the 30th of this month. And he's also giving away 5 copies of Baptist Thorough Reformers by John Quincy Adams. That's another book we've talked about here before and mentioned. So this is a good way to get that, because I don't think a lot of people enter that. So he's giving away 5 of each one, so you have a really good chance to win that. So if you don't have it yet, share the news and let other people know. Or if you do have it, share it anyway so other guys can win it. That's what I do. If I win a book that I already have, I just wind up giving it away. And then Tom Chantry, he tweeted out a couple days ago, I'm worried that the Confessing Baptist's next podcast might be the, quote, Jason went to Minnesota and we forgot how to do a podcast, end quote, edition. So we didn't forget a podcast, we just got too busy. But that is a funny title, so that's the title of this podcast. With that, Junior, you got anything else, or are we finito here?
Did you want to do a giveaway?
Oh, yes, giveaway.
Oh, wow, here we go. See, it's been so long, Jason, right? You forgot how to do a podcast.
We did forget how to podcast. All I got to do is read the script. It's not that hard. Yeah. Well, Junior, I've been talking a lot. You want to actually just mention who won what here, or do you understand how I put it out there? It looks kind of confusing.
Yeah, I'll do the first group because I don't know what else is going on. But
okay.
So the recent winners of our 2 physical books, the big heavy tomes of A Theology of the Family, which is like a 20-pound. I mean, like, what's that going to cost to ship that book? I don't know.
Oh, I know. I don't know. That's crazy.
So it's Jeremiah Melvin. So congratulations, Stephen Fulmer. Congratulations. And then the 2 ebook winners, both international, were Pete Townsend of The Who and Godly Thomas John. So those guys won the ebooks. So congratulations to you all. And there's some other giveaways I guess we're doing, or again.
Yes, we gave away Spurgeon Sorrow book. That giveaway, we didn't really promote it very well, so not many people entered. I know we mentioned in the last Dunker Bunker videos, like, things were already going crazy on that one, and the audio wasn't working good. But anyway, so if you entered, you had a good chance because not many people entered. It was Spurgeon Sorrow book. We gave away 2 copies. Luis Gonzalez won this. He's in California, but he wound up getting it shipped to his fiance in Texas, Rachel. So she actually gets the book, so that's a very nice thing. And Michael Griffin of L.A. won. I'm sorry, New Orleans, Louisiana. Of New Orleans won the other edition. So you can check that out. We also do have a giveaway going on right now. Ligonier's The Reformation Study Bible is, we're giving away 2 of them. They're the new ones in ESV. New King James versions are coming out later this year, so the ones we're giving away now are the 2 ESV ones. We previously filled y'all in that the new edition of Ligonier's Reformation Study Bible would include the 69 London Baptist Confession. That's the only reason we really brought it up. And we're now giving away 2 of these study Bibles. Also, there are some Reformed Baptists that helped put it together, such as, Roger Nicole is dead now, but of the previous version, he was one of the editors on it, and so they still have a lot of his material, a lot of his work there. So he's actually still credited in like the top 5 contributors to it. His name's still there. So, anyways, we're giving away these 2 hardcover editions. One is hardcover white, the other one's a hardcover crimson. They both look really cool. They got that burning bush on them. And one winner we're going to pick from Canada, and the other one we're going to pick from the United States. So the contest ends this Saturday, March 28th at midnight. So get your entries in, share it, like it, blah, 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 all that stuff. So with that, now are we done, Junior?
I think that is it. And again, as always, y'all, call us something the 689. What's our area code?
512. Because that's a Texas area code. That's Austin. That's the heart of Texas.
Okay.
512 the 1689.
Yeah, so call us, leave us a voicemail. send us a message. I think you can text us.
Sure.
Also, tweet us, put a comment on Facebook, reblog us on Tumblr. Retumble, what's it called when you redo the thing? Reshare on Tumblr.
I don't even know. I don't even use Tumblr like I used to anymore. It's so sad.
Comments, we appreciate all. And then, as Jason said earlier, a lot of stuff we get from you. So don't hesitate to give some kind of email or contact us somehow and let us know what's going on, what's out there. This is it takes a village, Jason. So
it takes a village, Joey. That's funny. Cool.
So we're all listening together, and we're all us against. No, I'm joking. Not us against.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say you're getting so sappy, and now you're getting all destructive. And
but thank you for listening, guys, everybody.
All right, peace.